Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Lysha from Lysha Be Creative, and today's video is a little bit different than what you've seen so far on my channel. Typically, I do Tumblr tutorials as well as some other resin art crafts that I like to dabble in on the side as well. But today, I'm going to be showing you my favorite glitters and what glitter companies that you can purchase these glitters from. We're even going to play with a little bit of glitter and mix up some custom mixes using my favorite glitters today. So of course, everything I use in today's video will be listed and linked down in the description box down below. You can even find discount codes for a lot of the products that I like to use in my everyday Tumblr world. So let's go ahead and jump right into today's video. So let's get started on my favorite glitters. So I have a lot of glitter to choose from, and this definitely was difficult to pick and choose the glitters that were my fave, but I definitely made sure to pick out a color from each shade of the rainbow and be able to show those to you today. So let's go ahead and start off with red. So red is a beautiful color on its own, of course, but I especially love Burgundy Carnation from Lysha Creations. The reason why I love this glitter is because it is a beautiful dark red color, but it has amazing shifting holographic pieces in it too. It just gives this absolutely beautiful shift, and I just love how beautiful this looks under epoxy. I mean, look at that sparkle and shine. I absolutely love it. So now moving on to oranges. Oranges are there's a lot of different oranges that I have, and it was a little bit hard for me to choose my favorites, but I picked two, and my two favorites are Autumn Sunset. Autumn Sunset is more of a corally orange color. It is a beautiful color to use for the fall for sure. I just love the look that this gives, especially against like a gold or even like a green would look really pretty with this, and it just sparkles so beautifully under epoxy. I mean, I feel like all glitter, of course, sparkles under epoxy, but some of these just give you that extra chef's kiss, if you will, that you just have to have, right? So that's Autumn Sunset, and that is from Lysha Creations. I have a second orange glitter, which I found to be one of my favorites from Lysha Creations as well. This is called Withered Rose. So this is a color that I have yet to be able to use on a tumbler, but I have used it in several molds, and it is absolutely breathtaking. So Withered Rose is more of a brighter colored orange, and it really would pair really well with anything else that's bright, or this would be a great standalone glitter tumbler color. And of course, you know, getting this under epoxy, and I mean, look at that shine. It looks absolutely beautiful by itself. It would also make a good color that you could mix with others, but this by itself is definitely something you have to try. Moving on to my favorite yellows. So I picked out two of my favorite yellows, and yellow is not really a glitter color that I have a whole lot of, but I have bought a few yellows in the past, and I have really grown to love quite a few of those. So I picked two of those out, and they're both from Peachy Olive Glitters. So the first glitter color that I have is called Lemon Heads. So Lemon Heads is a bright neon colored yellow. It just is absolutely beautiful. It really goes perfect with like those bright greens and those bright oranges and all of those neon colors that we think of when we're thinking of summer. And of course, it has just that beautiful sparkle and shine, as most glitters do under epoxy, but I really do love to pair these with those bright colors for summertime. The other yellow that I have that again is from Peachy Olive Glitters is Duckling. So Duckling is kind of a soft, more muted yellow. So it still has those beautiful yellow color, but it has kind of this beautiful blue to green shift in it as well. So it's a nice pale yellow that I think pairs really good as you are getting into gearing up for creating spring tumblers. This would make a super cute little Easter cup using this on a tumbler, and that is definitely something that I want to be able to try using Duckling this. Okay, so now we're on to green. So green is definitely one of my faves, and it was hard for me to pick, as it was for a lot of these different color shades, to choose which are my favorite. But I did pick a couple, and I'm definitely going to share them with you. So the first is Emerald City. So Emerald City is from Peachy Olive Glitters, and it's a beautiful dark hunter green, and I just absolutely love how this looks up against a gold or a bronze colored metallic color. It just is so pretty. You definitely could use it as a standalone. I think it's a great Christmas color too if you're going traditional Christmas colors. When you think of like pine trees, kind of that kind of green. It's just a beautiful hunter green, and it really is just so pretty. Definitely something that I have bought multiple bags of and had to refill my stock. So the other green I have is a chunkier color. So a lot of the glitters that I picked today were finer colors. I do have my fair share of my favorite chunkies as well, so I have sprinkled them in throughout the different color selections that I've chosen for today to share with you. So one of my favorite chunky greens is called Chunky Hummingbird. So Chunky Hummingbird is from Glitter by Mama Boss, and it's just a beautiful chunky green glitter. It just really would pair well with a pink, a purple. It gives me like mermaid vibes as well. It would pair really well with like an underwater sea turtle themed tumbler. Just a really pretty color to definitely use off my shelf of green glitters. Okay, so now my personal favorite color, which is blue. So I picked out a few blue colors. I actually picked out 3. One of which is a chunky, but we're gonna start with kind of the finer cut of blues. So the first blue that I have is called Tropical Blues, and this is from Lysha Creations. This is just a beautiful blue, like a nice water-based blue. I love to use tropical blues when I'm doing beach cups. It's just a pretty, a beautiful colored blue. I love the way it sparkles, of course, under epoxy as well. It is just so pretty. And then I had to choose another one, which technically could be considered on the teal side, but I do like to use that and definitely keep that in my blue collection. And this is called Teal and Bougie. Teal and Bougie is also from Lysha Creations, and it's just a pretty, pretty blue. I just love it. It definitely is more on the side of, I would say, teal, not full-blown teal, but definitely a brighter colored blue, if you will, but definitely with more hints of teal green than true blue. And that has a beautiful shift on that as well. And then the final color blue that I have, it's not quite a true blue. It's actually a chunky mix, and this is called Mirabai. So Mirabai is from Peachy Olive Glitters, and I love to use Mirabai on any of my mermaid style cups. It just is such a beautiful, beautiful color of that like chunky purple. It's got little flecks of red, silver. It just is so pretty. And I always put this kind of on my blue shelf because it typically is what I would use and gravitate to when I'm doing any sort of water themed cup. It also is just so pretty to just sprinkle in to different colors as well. I've done this on like a white glittered cup, and it just turned out so beautiful. And that's Mirabai under epoxy. All right, moving on to my pinks and purples, which I have a huge collection of, so you can imagine how long it took me to figure out which colors I was going to choose. But the first pink that I have up is Champink. Champink is from Lysha Creations. It's a beautiful pale pink. I love to mix this with some of my hardier pinks or my darker pinks. It really does make a beautiful glitter color to add to your own custom mixes. And then the second pink that I have is I'm a Barbie Girl. So this is a bright, bright, fine colored pink. This is from Glitter Makes It. It is a bright neon pink. And so literally when you think of Barbie, like this is definitely the color you're gravitating towards. So I just love the way that I'm a Barbie Girl picks up those hints and flecks of blue. It just really is just so pretty. I've actually also done this glitter over a black base, and it really does bring out kind of the dark purples and blue when you add it to a black base. So I love to also test out my glitters on different colored bases to see kind of what colors it creates. Moving on to purples, I have Purple Palace. Purple Palace is a chunky purple from Lysha Creations, one of my fan favorites. I love adding this color to my purple Milky Way swirls. It just is such a beautiful color to use. I just love those chunky pieces in there. It gives you kind of that lavender colored purple, but it also gives you those like translucent pieces as well, and it just is so, so pretty. My other favorite purple, and most people would probably say this is more along the lines of pink, but this is Sangria. So Sangria is a beautiful chunky mix from Lysha Creations. It just has these beautiful like different flecks of like almost like a green. It's really hard to explain, and I hope you can pick it up on the picture that I have that's showing you the glitter up close as well as the color swatch under epoxy. But I really just love the different flecks of green that this also gives off too. It just is such a pretty and a very unique color, that I've definitely never seen with any of the other glitter companies that I purchase from. Okay. So now we're going to go on to my favorite white glitters. So as many of you guys know, I have my largest collection of glitter is probably white glitters. I just don't think that you can have too many white glitters because they're all different sizes, they're all different shapes, they're all different color shifts. And so I have a huge collection of white glitter and love to make my own custom mixes with my white glitters. So I have 3 white glitters that I wanted to share. The first one, which you can tell by how empty it is, I absolutely love. This is Fairy Dust. So Fairy Dust is from 4K Glitter, which is from Shop Vinyl Gallery. I do have a discount code for their shop down in the description box to share with you. And so this is just a beautiful, like pure white glitter. I mean, it's so pretty. And so when I'm thinking of winter cups or just that pure white glitter that I still want all that sparkle, this is the color that I am gravitating to for sure. The other white that I have is from Glitter by Mama Boss, and this is called the Cullens. I love the Cullens. The first time I put this on a cup, I was like literally speechless. I couldn't even talk. It's just such a beautiful white glitter. It gives you a shift of blue, which I absolutely love. I did this for a bear themed plaid cup a couple of months ago, and it's just such a beautiful color. Definitely a great standalone white glitter. If you're just looking for a breathtaking white, definitely a great choice. The other white glitter that is really more on the off-white, but not quite gold, is Full Moon. So Full Moon is from my Aisha Creations, and this was in her October themed glitter subscription box. But this is a gorgeous kind of off-white color, and I love using this color specifically on a pink base. The amazing color that you get off of this color on a pale pink base is just absolutely beautiful. You can see some flecks of pink in the glitter itself, which I think kind of gives it more of that goldish pink hue that it definitely gives off. But I just love this color on a pink base. I have yet to try it on a purple base. I've been wanting to try that as well because I think it would look equally as gorgeous, but definitely a glitter you must have. Okay, so now I want to share with you my favorite metallic glitters. So I have a huge collection of metallic glitters. I feel like you can't have too many shades of gold or silver or bronze or, you know, that charcoal looking color. I feel like definitely the sky's the limit with having metallic glitters, and they are great to pair with all of those other gorgeous colors. So the first metallic glitter I have is Smog. So Smog is more of a gunmetal gray color. It is technically in the black glittered family just based on the shade, but it is more of a gunmetal gray color. And this is just a really pretty color from Peachy Olive Glitters. I love to add this to a pink cup. This color with a pale pink is so beautiful. Such a beautiful ombre that you can get with those two colors, with a little bit of mixing and blending in between with a couple other shades to get it to be really beautiful in the blend. But it is such a pretty color when you pair this with a pink glitter. So next up is my favorite silver, and of course my favorite silver is this holographic shift from Peachy Olive Glitters. This is called Paris. So Paris is a chunky custom mix. It has lots of different shaped pieces in it, different sizes as well. And this has also like that holographic color shift in it as well, which is just so beautiful. I mean, you cannot go wrong with this glitter paired with any color, pink, blue, purple. It really does just really bring out the beautifulness in this silver holographic. I love this. So this is Paris under epoxy. I absolutely love the sparkle that you get off this, especially in the sunshine. And then my final metallic glitter is, of course, another Peachy Olive, very similar actually to Paris, is Athena. So hands down, my favorite gold of all times. Athena is almost exactly like Paris except for the gold version. So this is probably one of the very first glitters that I ever purchased from a glitter company. This is from Peachy Olive Glitters, and again, it is a beautiful, beautiful gold color, but you're also getting those holographic pieces. And literally, I have probably bought my fair share of 5 to 10 bags of Athena, and I always buy a couple at a time because it is frequently out of stock, because it's definitely a popular color, but I love to pair this with anything and everything. It's beautiful with a maroon color. I love to pair it with pinks. I love to pair it with purples. It really just is an all-around gorgeous color to be able to add to any glittered cup that you need a little bit of extra pizzazz to.
So we're going to be making a few custom mixes with some of my favorite glitters. So the first mix is going to be a 3 glitter mix. We're going to use Mirror Babe. We're going to be using a Purple Palace. And then we are also going to be using Barney. Barney is from Peachy Olive Glitters as well as Mirror Babe, and then Purple Palace is from Lysha Creations. So I love to create different glittered mixes. I kind of like to take different shades that kind of definitely complement each other and just see what happens when I mix them together. I typically will use medicine cups to mix any of my glitter custom mixes that I'm creating, just to decide if I am going to really like the mix before I commit to a larger amount of the mixed glitter. So putting just a little bit of Mirror Babe in the bottom of that medicine cup, followed by Purple Palace. We're going to go back in with a little bit more Purple Palace as well, and then finally going in with Barney. Give this a good stir, just using the end of my paintbrush here, and just kind of creating that super pretty custom mix. I just love the vibes that this one gives off. It gives me very like underwater mermaid-esque vibes, if you will. A great, cute custom mix that I think will just look so pretty on a mermaid themed cup. So I wanted to add a little bit more Purple Palace in there to make it a little bit lighter and brighter, and to kind of bring out more of those purple tones. So this is what the custom mix looks like, and I think this is absolutely gorgeous. I think this would be great on a cup all by itself, or again in that mermaid themed tumbler design. So now we're going to move on to our second custom mix. We're going to take a couple colors here. First, starting with Paris, which is that holographic silver from Peachy Olive Glitters, putting just a little bit of that into the bottom, and I'm going to mix this with a blue. So I'm going to take tropical blues here and just add tropical blues over the top, and I'm going to also add a little bit of the Mirror Babe in here as well, just because Mirror Babe has those silver pieces as well as that blue, and so I wanted to add that as well to incorporate more of the chunky mix into there. So give that a good mix there, and then this is what the custom mix looks like. I think it is super pretty. I just love the kind of vibes that this gives. Probably my favorite custom mixes to make are anything that involves purple and pink or blue. Those are just my favorite go-to colors of all time. So I just love the way that those colors mix, go together. So here's a final look at that custom mix I just created, and then the 3 colors that I used to create them. Okay, so for my third and final mix, this is actually a mix that I created most recently. So I'm going to be using a few colors here. So 3 colors here. I'm using Champagne, which is from Lysha Creations. I'm also going to use Sangria from Lysha Creations, and I'm then finally going to use a Dark Night. This is also from Lysha Creations, so all 3 of these glitters are from Lysha Creations, and I actually made a mix of a Dark Night and Sangria earlier this week for a cup that I was working on, and I just loved the way that mix came out, and so I wanted to add a little bit more pink to that as well, so I thought throwing in a little bit of Champagne would just brighten up the color a bit and really give me a different shade. So I really do love the way that this came out. This is more of a fine mix because there's not very much chunky in here. Sangria has some larger pieces in it, but not a chunky mix that would be anything close to something like Mirror Babe or Paris, as I have shown in the previous 2 custom mixes. So give that a good stir, and then this is the final look of this third custom mix. So of course, that is a beautiful color. I definitely think it gives some kind of like Valentine themed vibes. I think that this could really be paired with like a really pretty silver as well, or even maybe a darker cup, maybe black or something like that. I think that would also look beautiful as well. So there's what that final custom mix looks like and the glitters I used to create it.
So that about wraps up all of my favorite glitters that I love to use. I know this video was a little bit different than what you guys have seen here on my channel, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to share with you some of my favorite glitters. And of course, if you have a favorite glitter from what I've shown you today, or your favorite from another company, definitely make sure to comment that down below in the comment section. I love glitter and I clearly have a true glitter addiction. So I would love to definitely check out your favorite glitters as well. So if you loved today's video, make sure you give this video a huge thumbs up and I will see you guys next time. Bye.